bro got a new camera. It looked kind of good. Dude, it looked pretty good. Better than the webcam I had at the very least. But as you know, Reverse 1999 is Among Us. Yes, Reverse is Among Us, and I want to talk to you about 5 units that are pretty underrated, or at least are going to be skipped over by a lot of people because they're either a 3-star and a 4-star, which in this game is like worse than 4 stars in Honkai, Genshin, all those kind of games. And yeah, they're just overall overlooked, underrated. They're both kind of the same word. You get where I'm coming from. But that's where this video comes in. So for you free-to-players, for you people who want to kind of ball out on a budget, I hit the mic, I'm sorry. For those who want to ball out on a budget, I've got 5 characters for you to look into building, because odds are you're probably going to get them. You'd be pretty unlucky not to get them. Given that 5 stars are pretty common drops, the 4 stars and 3 stars of the game are going to be the fodder, you know what I mean? They're going to be the fodder. So the in-between, the characters you get excited for, they're the kind of pointless fodder in a temple that, you know, fills up the other 9 to 8 slots. You know how like Genshin's got weapons and Honkai's got the light cones? They're kind of like that, except they're usable characters. You can actually make something with them and do pretty good. So without further ado, let me bring into the video. The first character I want to talk about is called Betty. So Betty is a 3-star, and yeah, she comes out day 1 global, as you expect, whole point of this video. But she is a sustain, so you know, she's a shield. And her move every audition gives one selected ally a shield, which is the caster's attack 100%. So if she does 100 damage, she does a shield for, say it with me, 100% of 100, which is 100. And she also inflicts Empower Incantation 2 on the target for 2 turns. And what the incantation does is it gives +1 star to 2 random incantations of the user. To not make this too confusing, the incantations are just the spell cards. That's what they're called. That's just what they are. So one of those spell cards, because if you don't know, you can fuse them together, like a 1-star and a 1-star fused together to make a 2-star incantation. They now already just get a buff onto the next tier, which is so good, by the way. It really helps trying to get the max out of what you want to do, whether it's damage, whether it's buff, whether it's sustain, whether it's healing. It gets you into the next tier of that, and it's, yeah, as I said, perfect. And her next incantation, called Classic Shot, deals, it is a single target attack in all tiers, 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star, and each one just scales up with, you know, they scale up with damage every extra star you get, up to 3 stars. So at star 1, it's 160% damage, which is the reality element, and it has a penetration rate of 30%. I don't think I need to explain why that is good. I think we all know that penetration or defense ignore in all gacha games is a huge plus to have. Yeah, it's a pretty good bypass for the armor or for the, you know, defense that the enemies are going to have. And let's not forget, this is a 3-star character, by the way. 3! You're probably going to get the max copy amount of this character within the first day, because we get 73 pulls on the first day. So you're gonna be almost maxed out in this character unless you're a different level of unlucky. And in that case, you got a skill issue. But let's talk about her final incantation. The final incantation is called Important Part, and it is a buff. It's not a sustain, it's not a damage dealer, it is, as I said, a buff. So she does everything. She's got shielding, she's got damage output, and she's got buffing. She can do it all. She's a jack of all trades. Oh, well, in this case, a Betty of all trades. But what this does is it's a single target buff. It gives reality defense and mental defense a +25% increase, and damage taken a -25% increase to the target for 2 turns. So it gives, so it's not, look, it's a defensive buff. If anything, it's essentially sustained, just a different way to say it. But it makes them more resistant to certain elements. So, you know, depending on what kind of fight you're in, depending what's really applicable in the scenario, you can pick and choose your DPSs for each individual fight, and you could always bring her. You can put Betty in pretty much every team in the game. There's no doubt about that. And not to mention being a tank, because she can make you absorb less damage, like a damage reduction. It's just perfect. It is so good. And I'm sure you've seen the design. She kind of funny looking. She got a little mustache. Yeah, definitely couldn't recommend enough. Build your Betty. So the next character I'm going to talk to you about, you've all seen it in all the trailers, you've seen it in everywhere. It's the Apple. It's Isaac Newton. It's the boy with the tie. Apple's first incantation is a mass attack. It's AoE, and it deals 300% mental damage to all enemies. And also, when this is applied, it also gives 100% of his attack as HP to the lowest percentage HP ally you have in your team. So it's like a failsafe. You got someone who's really low who took the brunt of a blow. Let's say you make like a tanker or something like that. This is a perfect kind of system to have paired with an Apple, because Apple, it has the damage output of 300% of their attack as mental damage, and also it's got a sneaky little heal in there. It's got a little bit of a heal just like chilling in the corner. Gonna be very usable, and I can guarantee you're always gonna get bang for your buck using this. You could almost use Apple as a pseudo healer. Granted, it wouldn't be easy, but you could get around and do that. And now let's talk about Iridescent White. So this is a single target attack in all stages, 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star. And yeah, it's just mental damage. Deals 200% mental damage at tier 1, 300 at tier 2, 500 at tier 3. Pretty basic stuff. And their final incantation is a single target attack in all 3 tiers again, and it deals 150% of mental damage, and then HP, which is equal to the caster's attack of 40% to the ally with lowest HP. So it's a single target variant of their ultimate, which is what you saw at the start. The whole 300% AoE damage, it's now single target version of that. So as you can see, it's got a free heal in there. It's AoE and single target, and let's not forget, just really high damage output. You get that to 3 stars, 500% mental damage, dude. You've got to try Apple. And then let's talk about Eric. So Eric is a 4-star, and she deals reality damage. But she's not like the other ones I've spoken about, and here is why. So her ultimate, Glory to the Jarl, is a single target attack. It dispels buffs, position status, which is like speed and Honkai, and counter statuses, which is huge. And it's a single target, so it does it all to one person, and also deals 450% reality damage. 450. It's not done yet, by the way. There's still another thing which is kind of huge. This also inflicts disarm to the target for 1 round. And if you want to know what disarm is, it means they cannot use attack incantations. So they cannot use attacks for 1 whole turn. You use this in boss fights or whatever it may be. This is massive because they can only either buff or heal or straight up miss their turn because they don't have any other option. Now let's talk about one of the incantations. It's called Heavy Axe. It's pretty basic. It's just a single target attack that deals 200% reality damage at 1-star. At 2-star and 3-star though, this does change. It goes from single target attack that deals reality damage. It also adds a critical resist rate and critical defense of -25 to the target for a round. So it's a higher affliction to be able to crit them. And it also means their critical defense, which is an individual stat in this game, will be 25% lower. So they take more damage from crits. So it's almost like your crit damage is even higher because theirs is lower. In a sense, it's like buffing. You just don't choose an ally for it, you choose an enemy. And her final incantation, Wooden Warship. So Wooden Warship is a mass attack, so it's AoE. Deals 120% reality damage to 2 enemies, and this attack enjoys penetration rate. I don't know why they type it like this. It has penetration rate of 30%, and this is all the way down tiers 2 and tier 3, it just gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And as I said, AoE, it's kind of AoE. It hits 2 people, not 3, not 4, not 1. 2. Again, for a 4-star, this is great. With the ultimate to have debuffing and as well as can lock them away from being able to attack for a cycle, you can really experiment with builds here. This character, like Eric's going to be criminally underrated because I think a lot of people are going to skip it purely on a design. Well, to be fair, like if you're playing the game for waifus and stuff, you're not Reverse 1999 is not for you. It doesn't have many, like, you know, doesn't have any waifus, you know what I mean? Like, which might turn a couple people off the game, but if that's the case, let it be, I guess. Now we go to the last 3-star on my list, which is La Source. You'll be getting La Source pretty easily, as I said, with Betty. She's a 3-star. She's going to be in every other temple that you do. You won't be able to get rid of her. So her ultimate is a single target attack, which deals 400% mental damage and also minuses to a Moxie for the target. And her first incantation is called Spring Fey. It is a mass attack which deals to 2 enemies. It is 150 damage at 1-star, then 2-star and 3-star. It scales up more. 2-star 225, 3-star 375. She's got some good damage output. She, like, for a 3-star, this is a pleasant surprise. I'll be the first to say that. Also, not to mention, 3-stars are criminally cheap to build. Even if you have no intention of using it, you may as well just build your 3-stars because, well, it gives you another element to the game. If you start to get bored and you want to run stuff for fun, you can kind of make some free-to-play kind of characters to see how far you can push your account without the 5-stars and 6-stars of the game. Pretty much turn the game to hard mode. And then her final incantation, which is also called Spring Fey, strange, it's a heal. It is a buff. It's not a buff, it's a heal. And it is a all ally heal. Heals everybody. So at 1-star, it heals 80% of their attack. So for, let's say for example, the source of attack is 100. they heal 80, and it scales on 2 stars to be 120, and at 3 stars, 200. You know what I mean? But yeah, overall to have these kind of, you have healing, you have attack, and you also get a defense shred is pretty big, pretty big character for the fact it is a free 3-star, and you're all going to be getting it. And the final character I want to talk about is called Crystallo. So Crystallo is a 4-star mineral type, and their ultimate is called This is Radiotherapy. It is a mass debuff. It does this to all enemies, not just 2 this time. They're mixing it up a little bit. Inflicts nasty wound, which is healing taken minus 50%. So if they heal, if an enemy heals, well, an ally of the enemy, it's only half as effective. And also applies radiation therapy, which is a damage taken reduction by 15%. And when a round ends, takes Genesis damage based on the caster's attack. So yeah, you can't hit them as hard, but they kind of have a damage over time effect now, depending on how attack heavy you've built your Crystal. Because in case you guys don't know, there is like light cones and like weapons in this game. They're called Psych Cubes. If you want a video on that, like the video. I'm gonna make a lot of reverse content. I'm gonna be the reverse guy for a little bit. And yeah, if you kind of want to stick around for that, subscribe. And time to talk about her incantations. So the first incantation is Caged Bird. At 1 star, it's a single target attack and it deals 200% reality damage, which is pretty basic stuff. Pretty good though. And at 2 stars, it is a debuff, which deals the 200% reality damage, but also shreds defense by 25% of the enemy for 2 rounds. And then it's the exact same thing, just, you know, higher numbers, which is 350% damage and 35% defense for 2 rounds at 3 star. So she's almost like a self-buffer. She's almost like a self-buffer in a sense, because she can attack someone and in the same turn, shred them of the element of attack that she's good at. Every character in this game is useful, makes me so happy. And then we talk about her final incantation, which is Dustless Blossom. So Dustless Blossom is at 1 star, a mass buff, gives 1 stack of sturdiness, reality defense, and mental defense, plus 10% for 2 rounds. What sturdiness is when the caster is attacked, damage taken reduction plus 20%. So it is a damage reduction. That's all it is. It's good though, because you can take more damage. And as you'd expect, at 2 star and 3 star, it's the same thing, just with more reality defense and mental defense. So at 2 star, it is 15%. At 3 star, it is 20%. Oh, and that is the list done. The reason I picked these 5 characters is because pretty much everyone, free to play or whale, is going to have them. They just are. And there's probably going to be some people who play on CN who disagree with this video entirely. In that case, Kick Rocks, dude, that game is like 5 months in advance from this one. Actually, this character fails at the true late game. It's a 3 star. What do you want from me? You guys realize there is not a gacha game out there, bar the ones that truly pay to win, that you can't beat everything on with the characters given to you. You just gotta be better at the game. And dude, if that upsets you, if you are like a true meta slave and you can't see the whole value of this video, I can't help you. I don't think anyone can. And it goes without saying, I am streaming this game every single day over on Twitch, twitch.tv/MaximGacha. If you have any questions, be sure to come over there. I am live at the time you're watching this video, and I pretty much answer everything there is. But we're pretty close in the community. There's also a Discord if you want to join the Twitch. You'll see it in the description of the Twitch. Join the Discord there. I'm active all the time. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and comment down below if you are going to be getting any of these characters, or if you are going to be building them, because, you know, they're kind of good. But yeah, that's pretty much been my video. I don't want to take any more time up out of your day, so I'm gonna head out. See ya.